skill and precision that they
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How will you do? Roll call, please.
Michael Hankins,
Here.
Robert Mueller,
Here.
Mary Beth Ferguson,
Here.
Kathleen Walsh.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Have you all looked at the agenda?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Kathy, seconded by Bob. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None carried. Have you had a chance to read the minutes from the previous meeting? Are there any corrections to the minutes from the previous meeting? Any changes to the minutes from the previous meeting? I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Kathy, a second.
Second.
Second by Mary Beth. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Not appearing.
Vote.
We have a financial report. Have you had a chance to look at it? It's the last page. Actually, there's 2 pages. Have you any questions about the financial report? Have we met our obligation? We have not met our obligation to you yet.
We have one that we haven't received the final bill yet, so.
Okay, that's at $7,500, $7,700, whatever it is, yeah. And we did the 2 signs. We paid Drury off for this ensuing year. We got a $300 discount. Lamar does not give discounts, so we thumbed our nose at them. We gave them half. We'll give them the other half when you all vote on it at the next, when it's due in the next time. And that's the only bills that we have that I'm aware of right now.
I would
Question?
just like, no, not a question, I'd like to comment that the new billboard up right at the entrance to the city on Highway 61 and Market really is nice. The Welcome to St. Genevieve billboard is really very, very, very nice.
And that, did you do the design work on that, or did?
Yes, such as it was. It really was an update of a badly outdated hand-painted sign that had become quite decrepit, and it was a joint effort. With the lime kiln, I paid for half of it, and I used half of it from the grant that we got from the Community Foundation to pay the other part. So, thank you for noticing.
It looks great.
When are
Yes.
they planning on stretching?
It's been stretched.
Has it?
Yes, yes. Probably right after the CAB meeting.
It's tough to do a billboard close to town. Nobody, we can't do it, because if it's in town, it doesn't bring anyone to town. And the state doesn't want to do it unless it's 50 miles away. So it's very tough to do billboards. And we've always had this issue with the state. And we can do it on the highway, as long as it's not in the city limits. But anything that's in the city limits is tough enough. And that's why we can never do the kiosks, and we can never do any of those things to guide people around town, which is wrong, but that's
Well, that's if you're using the
Yeah, you
state.
never use the grant money.
If you're using grant money, if you're not
Yeah.
using grant money,
And
you
our,
can do
and our
whatever we
statute
want.
doesn't allow us to do it.
Our ordinance, or?
The statute we're under for this tourism tax, we can't pay for her salary, we can't pay for infrastructure, we can't advertise within the city limits. You have to advertise to bring them to the city, and by the statute, it says they have to be
That's the,
outside.
I guess you're referring to the ordinance that
Yeah,
establishes.
and the other thing is, some cities have a lot of money. And Uncle Ralph owns the printing company, so, you know, you send him all your printing business. And Uncle George owns a piece of property, and they're gonna put signs on the piece of property and give him lots of money, and they just try to prevent that, that's all. That's just one of those things. Anyway, looking at our budget and our finances, do we have a motion to accept the financial report?
So moved.
Motion by Bob, I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Kathy. Any discussion on it? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Not appearing. Old business. Do we have any old business?
I don't think we had anything outstanding from the previous meetings. As you mentioned, we have the final bill that has to come in from the Miles Media program with the video, and they sent me the final cut of the video, so I'd say we're close to paying that bill.
Okay.
Are there any more TV commercials in the works, or?
The only ones were the dollar amount that you saw invoiced in January. We prepaid all those commercials, and the commercials have all run.
Yeah.
They're all,
That was,
even the spring,
6,000, 5,900. Yeah.
It was just a January/February timeframe for that. However, if this group wanted to, all we'd have to do would be to change out like a couple of the photos, and we could run it again for a couple $1,000s maybe in the summer, if we wanted to, or in the fall, or whenever. But we can freshen those images and take the snow ones out and put some fresh ones in and run the same commercial again, either on one of the networks or either on the cable channel too.
I guess the only thing I'd ask, did we get any, I'm not sure what the advertising term is, but the data about how many they reached and that sort of thing? I mean, they kind of gave us that of the normal for the shows. Is there any
Yes.
other kinds of feedback we get from them?
Well, the run times and how many people were watching at that time, which isn't 100% accurate because some people tune out during the commercials or whatever. And then we got a lot of people saying, hey, we saw your commercial, on TV, really enjoyed the commercial, local people as well as people coming in, which is largely anecdotal. But there were a lot of good comments about it.
We had a lot of good comments about it, yeah. Well, they did a really nice job, too, I thought. Okay, new business. First thing is commission replacements. We were just discussing it. The statute is very specific about who has to be on the board. You need one person from the historic homes. Bob is on the board of that, so he fits that. We've been, it's always understood that we would like to have somebody from the restaurants, and Mary Beth fits that one. And then you have a business person at large, who is Kathy, and then the other two positions are supposed to be lodging. And we don't have a lot of lodgings to choose from. You have to go back to the original statute when they passed it. It tells you what they are.
It's probably
One
state.
hotel motel,
Yeah, statutory.
active in tourism,
Oh, you only have to have one hotel motel?
One hotel
Then you only have to
motel.
have one.
and then two
So
active in
then
tourism.
that fifth person
then there must
is
be
at
another
large.
person.
Is not a business person
Is-
per se. Isn't it a
Two that are active in tourism,
Yeah.
two that are local general business, and one hotel motel.
yeah. So you,
So the historic
Does that
homes would
also
be
serve
active
the
in
tax
tourism.
commission?
right. Historic homes are active in
Does
tourism.
Beth also serve the tax commission?
Only as a liaison.
Well, but she could be a voting member.
As a general business,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, there's no requirement that you have an aldermanic liaison, that's just something the Board of Aldermen has done.
Yeah, they've always done that. And that's just so that if we have a good one, and we've had a couple of good ones, they go back and tell them what we're spending our money on. And the only group that doesn't have to report to the alderman is us, because we don't report to anybody but the public. And We don't have to get permission for what we spend our money on, we just have to keep it within the confines of the statute.
We do need to find somebody from lodging though.
You do need to find somebody from the lodging, and so she made a list here of the possibilities, including the new lodging, if you want. I mean, as long as she's in the business. But at one time, we had somebody, a long time ago, I think, for a short time, from the Triangle. But it didn't work out. He didn't want to do it. So you got those two. You got three motels in town, and then you've got about 4 bed and breakfasts. And they have to be in the confines of the city of St. Genevieve. I mean, it can't be like one of those out there on B Road or someplace like that. Yeah, it has to be, and that's according to the statute too.
I think the probably more difficult one is to decide on somebody from lodging, because I think we can all fill the bill.
We have
The three of
multiple
us
hats.
here in terms
Yeah.
of general business or active in tourism, because we
Sure.
can sit on the Tourism Advisory Council also.
Right.
So I think we need to figure out who might fill that one position.
And Martin and I have had conversations with the mayor on those possibilities. So I think he's kind of thinking that over.
Well, the problem is you're going to have 3 left, because this is my last meeting. And if one of them doesn't make it, you're not going to have a quorum, because it takes 3 to have a quorum. And
Well,
that's,
I think we can fill the general business or active tourism, however we want to
sure.
assign this very quickly, so we have 4.
That can be assigned right to Beth.
Yeah, if she's willing to do it. I mean, I think it takes
Nomination by the mayor,
yeah.
but I don't think it requires approval of the
I
board.
didn't hear what you said.
No, it doesn't
That's
require
something that
approval from us at all.
moved back
No,
from
from
all
the board.
liaison.
No,
I think he just makes the
so.
Oh, yeah, that would
nomination
be
and
good.
I
informs the
think-
board of his appointment.
I think he goes, he does it before them, but he doesn't need their approval.
Right. There are some that require board of alderman approval, and
Yeah,
some
but
that
that
don't.
doesn't, no.
I think that works.
I think
She's in
that, yeah.
business and she's also on the Tourism Advisory Council. Again, that means we gotta find somebody from lodging.
Right.
Would you all be in favor? Beth is filling one of those
Mhm.
non-lodging?
Yes.
So too. And you're having some discussions with Dick about the lodging person then, or?
Yeah, he's thinking about a couple of different candidates.
Hopefully,
I think probably because he talked to you.
yeah. He knows he has to get on that. It's just one of those
So
things.
that means you have to make sure he gets on it, so we can keep meeting.
And the next thing is election of officers. We can hold it today if you want, or you can hold it, but you have to have it in June.
Want to wait till we have the other people?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah, the
probably.
next meeting, in the absence of the chair, the vice chair will conduct the meeting.
Yeah.
You need a motion to that effect?
No,
Okay.
no. The actual, according to our standard that we said June would be, the meeting in June, isn't that the one?
Yeah. Or you could select it at any.
Or you could select it at any
At any
time.
point.
And the president, and this actual board has a president, not a chairman.
Chair.
And the president can call a meeting anytime he wants, or 2 members of the board can ask for a meeting at any time. You just have to call. Carla, make sure we get it on
We
that.
probably ought to just get everybody a copy of the ordinance.
I was just going to ask for that, thank
I
you.
may have it, but I'd like to.
I don't think I do, so yeah, if
Yeah.
you would, please, Carla.
We have been audited several times, and they don't really understand some of the things that we do. Like, why did you spend $12,000 for printing?
It seemed pretty obvious, wouldn't it?
Well, because we were in a grant at the time, and we were paying for the printing in the grant, and it was $12,000.
Who doesn't understand when you,
The auditors from the state,
the state audit?
state auditors, you know, they're.
It was their grant.
It was their grant, but they don't talk to each other.
No,
They don't
different-
talk to
they
the
don't
grant
see
people,
each other.
and they don't talk to the tourism people. They're financial. And they don't understand that. And Sue would call that. And she's very good about this. We have a treasurer, but we elected some years ago not to keep the books, to let the city keep the books, which worked out real well.
And it gets audited every year.
And it gets audited and it follows all the state procedures and we don't have to worry
And
about
I
it.
believe there were no findings this year, is that?
No findings?
That's wonderful.
Well, you see,
Yeah, that is,
about,
that's outstanding.
I'm gonna say about 14 years ago, we were writing checks to French Colonial, who was writing checks to the chamber, who was spending the money, and they just didn't like it that way. So we said, okay, we did it for about 6 years, and then we stopped doing it that way. We said, we'll go the other route. We'll let the city take care of it. Well, is there any more business to come before the commission?
Yes.
What do you got?
As representative of the mayor of the city of St. Genevieve, I would like to read the following into the record. In recognition of your years of service and leadership as a member and chair of the St. Genevieve Tourism Tax Commission for the city of St. Genevieve, please accept the gratitude of myself, the mayor, and the citizens of St. Genevieve. The tourism industry represents an important economic as well as historic component for our community, and your willingness to give your time and talents to the efforts of this committee has been very much appreciated. Signed, Richard Grimminger.
Hey, you're here.
Suitable for framing.
There you go. Now, when does he get the keys to the city?
It's been a good time for me, and I'm sure a lot of people think that when you do this, it's self-serving, but it isn't. It isn't self-serving. You try to spread the money as best you can, what little we have, to bring people to the city. And we have to compete with a lot of big people. And we're just the little guys, and it's hard for us to get our share of the market. I mean, we're talking to a lady here that knows this very well. Our share is bigger than most small towns. When you talk to Fredericktown or DeSoto or Hillsborough, any of those others that have tourism, Farmington, and what do they have? They don't have what we have. And so we keep selling the best thing we have, and that's historic value. I thank you for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it.
It's been my observation, those who think that the people who serve are self-serving are the ones who do not serve.
Yeah, there you go. Very good. Yeah, very
We
good.
need to get some of those on here. I have a motion to close the meeting.
So moved.
Motion
Motion
by
to
Bob.
adjourn.
Second by,
Second.
doesn't take a vote. Robert's Rules of Order. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
been
you, Mike.
a good